Y chromosome atom, the original African ancestor of all mankind.
Based on the Y chromosome genes, we can tell that each man that you have today on the planet Earth is connected because that chromosome goes from the father to the son.
DNA consists of two intertwining strands, which are basically joined-up chemicals called nucleotides. Just 4 different types of nucleotide are found on each strand: adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. To glue the two strands together, adenine always pairs with thymine and cytosine always pairs with guanine. That's just the nature of their chemical bonds. When DNA copies itself, the copies aren't always perfect. So if the wrong nucleotide gets copied, the two strands won't join up at that particular point. You've got yourself a marker. If the marker is on mitochondrial DNA, that marker will be passed down through every female descendant without alteration. If it's on Y chromosome DNA, it'll be passed down through every male descendant without alteration. So by checking the DNA of people living today, we find those with the same genetic markers. This map shows the distribution of men with a marker on their Y chromosome called M130. We can wind this film backwards and follow the migration route they took, which was the first complete one out of Africa around 60,000 years ago.
Scientists have mapped the DNA history of Aboriginal Australians and found they're the direct descendants of the first modern humans to leave Africa.
The research, published in the international journal Science, debunks the common theory that all modern humans migrated in a single wave out of Africa. Instead, the scientists believe descendants of Aboriginal Australians left first, followed by a second group of humans who would eventually settle in Europe and Asia.
Aboriginal Australians are descending from the first human explorers. I mean, these are the guys that went into unknown land.
It's the first time scientists have mapped an Aboriginal genome and say the research shows Indigenous Australians were not only the first humans to settle here, but they're also one of the oldest continuous cultures outside of Africa.
Our ancestors moved into the heart of Europe and Asia, then later across a land bridge into the Americas. Wherever they went, humans adapted to the climate and new diets. People moving into northern climates lost the melanin in their skins. Melanin inhibits the production of vitamin D by sunlight.
And that comes from the historical relationship to what we call the Permian Ice Age. That 10,000 years of glacial freezing that happened in Europe after the Africans who were the Grimaldi moved up there. And so it became the survival of the fittest. Who was able to adapt could survive. Who wasn't able to adapt died. So those people who were able to get rid of their melanin was able to survive. Those who could not get rid of the melanin, they died.
These scientists said that the pineal gland, they refer to the pineal gland as a vestigial organ. That is a calcified gland within the body that serves no purpose, as if the creator would create something that you didn't need.
Melanin is a neurochemical that is produced in part through the pituitary and the pineal gland. They both play a central role in the production of melanin, which is ultimately responsible for the color that we have in our skin. Now, historically, it had always been thought that melanin played a significant role in the intellectual.
As long as they were moving and opening up new territory, there was plenty of space for excess populations to expand. But around 20,000 years ago, the human diaspora had filled nearly every continent. Settled populations began to grow.
The family tree of mankind. From them stemmed every color, creed, and nationality alive today. We know the fathers of mankind started their journey from here, but why did they leave? I'm hoping the few survivors they left behind, the San Bushmen, will help me solve this fundamental question. Everything predicted in their blood seems to be written in their faces. It's like looking at a composite model of every face from around the world. The eye shape of East Asians, the high cheekbones of Mongolians, the mid-brown skin that could turn darker or lighter. So how do I know that of all the people on Earth, the San are direct descendants of our oldest ancestors? I work with DNA, our very own manual of life. It's in our blood, in every cell of our body, orchestrating our life processes. DNA is a ladder of just 4 linked molecules, A, C, G, and T, strung together in pairs in an incredibly long and complex sequence. If laid out, the DNA from one person would stretch to the moon and back 3,000 times. In our cells, this chain is broken into 46 bundles called chromosomes. Because of its sheer length, DNA is prone to develop small glitches in its sequence. They're called mutations. Everybody has them. When they occur, we pass them on to our children. We call these inherited mutations markers. As our chromosomes pass down through the generations, they carry these markers with them. They write our history, the way we can see back to our earliest ancestors. The markers I follow are found only in men, on their Y chromosome, the chromosome that makes men men. But of course, men don't travel alone, and the journey of man is the journey of everyone.
We are